Today, we're joined by Dr. Harjit Singh, who is a professor of sustainable energy technologies here at Brunel University. He's at the forefront of innovation in solar energy, developing solutions that help power our cities, industries, and homes better. Dr. Singh's research spans solar applications, energy efficiency in the built environment, and next-gen insulation systems, backed by major United Kingdom, EU, and global industry collaborations. Through his work, he is helping shape a cleaner, smarter, and more energy conscious future for us all. Hello and welcome to Educon's podcast series, where we speak to global higher education institutions to understand what's happening in the world of education. My name is Jannavi, and this conversation is brought to you by Java and Skoda. Professor Singh, thank you so much for joining us today and having a talk with us. Very excited to hear what you have to share on a lot of the things that we're going to talk about today. Starting off with the global energy landscape. We've seen a huge shift, right, from, say, fossil fuels to now renewables. How do you personally perceive that shift?
I see there are two things which have changed actually in the last decade or so. The one that really has emerged is energy efficiency. There are a lot of talks about improving efficiency of energy use in industries, in buildings, as well as other sectors of economy. In this, people are talking about how to reduce demand and how to then meet the reduced demand with more renewable or greener sources of energy, which brings us to the next topic, which is energy generation. In the generation side, people have been more aware, and policymakers, including policymakers I'm saying here, and industries, of course, and end users, about using and generating energy which is greener compared to fossil fuels, for example. And in this regard, solar has really taken a lead. And now in 2025 is the first year when renewable energy now overall is more than the fossil sources it is coming from. So clearly, we have more renewable energy now than fossil energy. This is first time ever in the history of humankind this has happened. And this is amazing. And we are seeing this revolution happening in front of our eyes, which is actually bringing us to even more modern topics of energy. Not entirely modern, of course, but still modern types of energy. For example, hydrogen is one of them. So there are a lot of awareness among all sectors now about generating as well as using greener hydrogen. We've been using hydrogen, we've been producing hydrogen for many, many years now. But all 95% of it or even more comes from fossil fuels. So now there are actually already initiatives taken in this direction whereby we could produce solar hydrogen or hydrogen from wind energy, hydrogen from other sources of energy, which are greener, which is amazing actually. And this probably is going to revolutionize the heavy industry now, heavy industry, shipping, transport, because green hydrogen can revolutionize the greenification of all these industries, which have been very difficult traditionally to decarbonize.
Interesting. In terms of the kind of research that you've been leading, is there anything that you can share with us on that note?
Yeah, like on our group, we have worked on both fronts, which is energy efficiency, for example, as well as generation of green energy. On the energy efficiency, we are leading university probably globally in researching into vacuum insulation, which is the most advanced thermal insulation that you can find off the shelf anywhere, and even in more advanced applications, which, for example, even space. We have patents in the area, and we've been now in the operation of in the process of commercializing them. We've been working with industries from around the world in that area. Then also on the generation side, we worked into developing solar technologies for generating purposes, for example, for generating heat. electricity, as well as then using that heated electricity for producing systems like, for example, solar cold storages, solar dryers, and then also demonstrating their use for applications into building heating and air conditioning systems. And these are in these areas as well. We have patents, and then we've commercialized them as well, especially with the Indian company called Arctic Renewables now. And also on the hydrogen side, we have a project running now with in collaboration with in Egyptian University, whereby we're producing solar using solar energy hydrogen generation. The plant has been the first prototype has been already installed in Brunel. Another prototype is going to be installed in Cairo. We've already shipped our equipment, but they're in the process of installation now. So we in a way, what I'm saying is this: we worked in our group in number one, reducing energy demand by using vacuum insulation, which is the most advanced form of insulation, thermal insulation. Then on the and generation side, we've developed solar energy, which is completely decarbonized. Then also going forward, we're looking into now hydrogen generation as well. So we're kind of covering up the whole spectrum of energy, if you like.
Very interesting. In terms of if you look at sustainability, right? I think more than just a technical skill, that's more of a mindset that one has to really embody. How do you think universities, colleges, professors should embody the spirit and the mindset of sustainability?
Like that's a difficult question to answer, but in a way, it has already started. We can see the curricula now all around the world, in one way or the other, educating a new generation and also conducting research into renewable energy systems like solar energy systems, hydrogen as well, wind energy, wave energy, and biomass energy as well, which is very relevant for India in this case. But then going forward, we can also take a leap and then communicate more with industry leaders, communicate more with policy developers, with government leaders as well, and politicians to educate them, inform them about the benefits of these greener energies, not only in decarbonization. Of course, decarbonization is one, but another thing that these energy forms bring to board or bring to table is the security of energy supply. We've seen it recently, where as Russia invaded Ukraine, Europe and including UK had to face the increased prices of energy, which to some extent could be and has been actually somehow displaced or counterbalanced by using local energy sources, which are renewables, in this case biomass, solar, and so on and so on. So this is an opportunity that we can go and inform the decision makers about how these new energy forms can be used to ensure security of energy supply in the face of difficulties or problems that we occur on geopolitical level. Yeah.
So, Professor Singh, also taking a look at, for instance, India's ambitions when it comes to renewable energy, right? There's a lot of ambition, there's a lot of hope that we can really get into it full scale. In terms of, say, research or academic collaborations between Brunel and, say, Indian institutions, do you see any scope there by any chance?
Yes, huge scope actually. We have traditionally worked since 2017 or 19. We worked with in our group with several Indian institutes, like for example is Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Delhi. We worked in the past with NIT Trichy. This is National Institute of Technology in Trichy. Then we've been working currently with several other IITs as well as industries. And I've mentioned Arctic already. So there is a huge scope of working with India. For example, especially there are industries which are difficult to decarbonize anywhere in the world, including India. But India is lucky to have huge amount of solar resource, wind resource, biomass resource. The need is to look at these resources and using these resources, develop technologies which are suited to India, developed in India, using Indian materials, and then train them to meet the peculiar demand that the local industries in India develop or raise, so that we could meet the demand at the right place where the demand is created using Indian technologies. And we need to work together, us in the UK as well as those entities in India, to develop those technologies and demonstrate their operations and performances. This is something lacking, which we haven't really taken. We have done research, but we lack in demonstrating technologies, particularly in the Indian context. And this ground to me is open and open for somebody to come and take over. And this is where I see an opportunity there.
If we are, for instance, being watched by any student at the moment, or any young person who also wants to pursue this path or this sector, any advice that you would have for them at the moment?
See, the thing is, from the student's point of view, what they should be aiming for is study in an area which develops a career for them. And to me, there is huge amount of career-making opportunities now available in solar hydrogen, and in energy efficiency, for example. In India, there has been, I'm saying it with a lot of respect, in India, there has been, to me, a less awareness compared to the rest of the developed part of the world about energy efficiency. There has been a lot of focus on generating solar energy, for example, recently, but there has been less focus on reducing demand. And that is because I suppose, although there are some examples I can see now, but there is a need of more concerted and more directed probably operations from the through the leadership of government, so that the message goes to the industry and the householders that reduced or energy demand reduction is an important aspect of overall energy scenario. And this hasn't been done. In my opinion, if there is opportunity for new students to work into this area, there will be job opportunities coming up there very, very soon. And solar energy, of course, has always been a toast for students. It's been favorite of research for everybody. So they can work into that area as well. That area is going to grow very fast, especially with the currently India importing huge amount of fossil fuels from external sources, outside sources, which are becoming more and more difficult because the price is going up and there's a lot of geopolitics around this subject. So it is more pertinent for the Indian government to look into internal sources, as well as which will be creates opportunities, in my opinion, for local students as well, if hopefully they're watching it.
Fantastic. Professor Singh, thank you so much for your time. It's been great chatting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.